Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Okay, guys, we are continuing where we left off from last week. And I believe last week we just got through this conversation, Al-Hiwad Bayna Umar wa Uthman, right? And so this conversation, the Hiwad, was talking about Shajara, Shajarat al-Rasul, right? The family tree of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So his father, his mother, his uncles, his children, right? His aunts, and so here um, we get to see now just the little bit that we're increasing in our vocabulary as far as context, as far as what we're talking about, right? So, inshallah, as you guys start to get through this, right? Every week, okay. Make sure again. I have to, you know, beat the dead horse on this one. This is, it's very, very crucial that you guys get your time in during the week to practice, to review, to go through these things. Practice with somebody if and when you're able to, and um, you know, not having a partner to speak with is not really, it's not the end all for you guys, right? You guys can still find a way to make this work if you only have yourself, right? You can literally have a conversation with yourself, and you're actually, in this case, practicing both sides of the conversation. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. كيف حالك؟ أنا بخير, right? من أين أنت؟ أنا من أمريكا, right? Imagine you could literally have the conversation with yourself, right? So don't hold the excuse or whatever that I don't have someone to practice with, right? Because there's always a way. There's always a way, right? And from many classes that I've had and from the many videos that I've seen online, this is actually a method that people find is very, very useful, right? Having a conversation with yourself, it's essentially learning you to think like on the moment, react on the moment, respond in the moment to what's being asked or what's being said, right? So here, guys, so just a review, right? So some of you guys, if you have time during the week, or if you travel for work, if you commute, right? Listen to the video, right? Pull up the video, right? You don't, even if you can't watch it, just listen to it. Listen along, listen to what's being said. You guys already sat here through the class, so you're familiar with what we talked about, right? So just repeat what's being said, and make sure that you understand what's going on, right? And I promise you guys, if you guys dedicate this time throughout the week, daily, if you are able to, it should be daily, right? But at least a few hours throughout the week, I promise you guys will start speaking, okay? It will not be as difficult as you think it is. There's a lot of people that say it's a difficult thing, and really, it's just, the difficulty is just, creating the discipline to have this routine that you do every single day. This is the biggest thing, right? Because we already know about, when they talk about success, right? Success, people who work hard and people who are talented, right? The people who work hard will outwork the talented guy every single day of the week. So it's not about talent, it's not about special skills, it's not about anything else. It's just about the work that you guys put in to just practice this and repeat it and go over it and go over it. The more that you go over it, the more you'll become comfortable with it, and the more you will begin to speak and sound fluent. So in this next page, guys, we're just going through al-mufradat al-ard, right? So the vocabulary of the presentation, okay? So in the previous presentation, we had shajara, right? And here we see shajara is a tree, shajara, okay? Now, is this word masculine or feminine? It's feminine. Bimada? Why? The ta'al marbuta, right? So when we see this little circle with the two dots, this is a sign that this is a feminine word, right? And then we had a couple of names, Adnan, right? Right? The uncle, Al-Amma, right? The auntie, the ibna, the daughter, and ibn, the son or the boy, right? Um, just the one. So there's not any audio for this. It's just the conversation that we heard last week. So, okay, so here we have another exercise like we do after each one of these hiwar or conversations, right? A hiwar is a conversation, right? So here, this exercise, the tadrib, the exercise is telling us sil bayna kalimatu surat al-munasiba, right? Sil, connect, bayna, between the word, this word, amma, ammatu, wa amma, right? And the appropriate munasiba, right? The surah is a picture, munasiba, right? So for is it top picture or bottom picture? Bottom, the right? The amma, top or bottom? Top, right? So in your books, you guys can just put a line, connect this, right? Here, this word, shajara, the tree, right? Surah is it's a picture, right? Surah, right? It's a picture. Okay, here we have tabiba, what is it? The doctor, the down, right? Good. The mu'allima is the teacher, right? So this is a very simple, again, this is just helping you to connect associate a physical picture, right, with the word, right? This really helps to solidify the vocabulary. Ibn, top picture, bottom picture? Bottom. Ibna, the daughter, right? The daughter. Okay. عندنا الحوار الثالث, right? And we have now the third conversation بين الأم والأب. الأم والأب, the mother and the father, right, guys? So here, what's up? So you guys can hear it.
الوحدة الثانية الأسرة.
الدرس 12.
الحوار الثالث. انظر واستمع.
هذا أذان الفجر.
الله أكبر، الله أكبر. أين الأولاد؟
سعد في الحمام يتوضأ.
وأين سعيد؟
سعيد في الغرفة يقرأ القرآن.
وأين سعيدة؟
سعيدة في المصلى تصلي.
أين المعطف يا سعد؟
هذا هو المعطف يا والدي.
وأين النظارة؟
هذه هي النظارة يا والدي.
هيا بنا إلى المسجد.
هيا بنا.
والآن جاء دورك. انظر واستمع.
Okay, guys, so as I mentioned before, so the audio will just repeat, okay? The audio will just repeat. So, and the first one is giving you the conversation in real time, how you would hear the conversation playing out in real time, right? When it repeats, it's going to read each line, and then there will be a huge pause for you to repeat, right? Why? لماذا? Because this exercise is انظر, look, واستمع, listen, وعد, right? So we want to look at the pictures. They do a very good job of illustrating pictures to help you understand what's going on in the conversation, right? Listen and repeat. So we're going to go through this, right? هذا أذان الفجر. What do you think that means? هذا أذان الفجر. This. So هذا, we know هذا is this. And adhan al-fajr, the fajr, the adhan of fajr, right? The adhan for fajr, right? The call to prayer for fajr, right? So the is saying, adhan al-fajr, like fajr just came in, right? And you hear Allahu Akbar, right? And then the father is saying Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Maybe he gave the adhan, maybe he's just saying Allahu Akbar because the time for prayer came in. And he asks, Aina awlad, right? What does walad mean? Walid. Walid means boy. Walid, remember, the long walid is a father, right? Walid, short, walid is a boy, okay? Awlad is the jam'a, is the plural for children. So he says, where are the children? Al-awlad, aina al-awlad, right? And she says, tajibu, right? The mother responds, سعد في الحمام حمام يتودع. What do you think she said? Look at this picture. He's Sa'id, the Sa'ad is the son, right? He is in the hammam, yatawadda, he's making wudu, right? So we want to notice here, guys, remember in the first conversation, in chapter 1, the kaf that comes at the end of the word, right? The kaf was the sign, right, of masculine or feminine. So, kayfa hawlu ka, the fatha, the a sound, it means I'm speaking to a male. Kayfa hawlu ki meant that I'm speaking to a woman, right? Or a girl, right? A daughter, a girl, a sister, somebody, right? Here, this ya at the beginning of this word, yatawadda, we are speaking about the masculine person, the third person, the ghaib, the absent, right? So he is not there, he's not present. And you see, he's asking, where's the children? She says, huwa fi halmam yatawadda. He is in the bathroom making wudu. Sa'dun fi al-hammam yatawadda. He is in the bathroom making wudu. وَأَيْنَ سَعِيدٌ وَأَيْنَ سَعِيدٌ, the other child, Sa'id, she says, سَعِيدٌ فِي الْغُرْفَةِ يَقْرَأُ الْقُرْآنِ. What do you think? So Sa'id is the boy. Fi, in. What do you think she said that he is? Right? The ghurfa is a room, right? And so, guys, so what you'll notice, right? Like in the beginning, aina, right? Min, aina, min is a word that probably repeats thousands of times in the Quran, right? Start by learning these small little words, even if it doesn't seem like a very big thing. Min repeats I don't know how many times in the Quran, right? Another one right here, fi repeats in the Quran thousands of times, guys. So even just picking up these little words helps you to begin to gain understanding of the Quran. Okay, so Sa'id fil ghurfa, he is in the room. Wa yaqra'u, what do you think he's doing? He's reading al-Quran. The yaqra'ul Quran, right? Wa ayna Sa'ida, right? So the daughter, wa ayna Sa'ida, where is Sa'ida? Sa'ida fi musalla tusalli. What do you think she said? She is in the musalla praying. So whatever room that they have in their home, that is the place where they pray, she's in the musalla tusalli. Okay, now very important. So when we said for the man, right, when we put, so qara'a means to read, right? Or qara'a means he read, right? But when we put this ya in the front, now it's telling us again, he, ghaib, the third person, masculine, absent, right? Yaqra'u, he reads. He reads, right? So here, if this was a male, we would say yusalli. But because it's a female, now this is what they call the pronoun, right? This is how we know a girl is being spoken about. Tusalli, right? That ta means it's referring to a girl, right? So Sa'ida, right, is the daughter. She's a girl, right? Tusalli, hiya tusalli, right? So these are these small little words. They're called damir, right? These little damir, right? These are the pronouns. This what tells you who is being spoken about or is being spoken to, a man or a woman, a girl or a boy, right? These subtle, tiny little things are huge, because you wouldn't say Muhammad tusalli, and now you said something incorrect, right? Because you used the feminine verb to describe what Muhammad was doing. Does that make sense, guys? Right? So this understanding these little letters and what their purpose is in the word keeps you from making a mistake in the speech. Okay? So he says Ayn al-Mi'taf, right? What is there's really no picture here for this. We're going to get into this in the next page. The next page has a whole picture of all of these words. All of the words with a picture to help you get an idea of what you think they are, right, guys? And Don't be alarmed. This stuff is very, very easy. Again, if you guys just practice throughout the week and go over this and repeat this, you've already sat here and listened to the class. If you just listen to that audio a couple of times, go through it, review it, repeat with it, I promise you this, it seems like a lot, but it's not. It will stick. You will get it, okay? If you just put in the work, it will not be a difficult thing. A mi'taf is a coat or a jacket, right? So he says, Ayn al-mi'taf. He's like, where's my jacket, right? And mi'taf, the word, right? The word for a jacket or a coat is masculine, right? So he says hada because hada is used, is ismul ishara to point at something masculine. Hada, huwa, again, huwa can mean what? Can mean two things. What is it? Huh? It can mean he or it, right? It for something that is masculine. In this case, the mi'taf is masculine. So hada huwa, it is, or here is al-mi'taf, ya walidi, oh my father, here is your jacket. Okay? And so again, so what we'll see now in the next one, ayna nadhara. So do you guys remember what you guys been seeing at the beginning of every single one of these? Undur wastami' wa'id. Look at this word right here. What does undur mean? What is it telling you to do? To look, right? So this is the same word for nadhara. What do you think nadhara is? The glasses, right? هذه, so أين النظارة, right? هذه, so because nadhara is what? Is masculine or feminine? مذكر مؤنث. It's مؤنث. It's feminine, right? So now we use the masculine form of ism al-ishara to say this, هذه, this. Here, it, here, or here, it, again. So huwa is the masculine, hiya is the feminine. So hiya can mean she or it, right? For something that is feminine, right? So hiya, so here it is, hadihi hiya, here, it, and nadara, right? So when you translate literally word for word, it doesn't make sense, right? But when you put it into context, what he said was, here's your glasses. Here are the glasses. Ya walidi. Oh father, here are your glasses. Right? But yes, sir.
Can you, in Arabic, when you're saying this, can you drop the huwa or the hiya? هذا المعطف يا والدي.
هذا المعطف. You could, and you could probably even say هو المعطف, right? Right? I think what they're doing though is they give you the most proper, the more specific, the most proper form of speech, right? The same way, if you take Spanish in school, in high school, in college, wherever you take Spanish, they teach you the Spain Spanish. Why? Because this is the most proper form of the Spanish, right? It's what they call the book Spanish. But unless you're in Spain, people don't speak that, right? And it's, subhanAllah, it's the same, most Arabs don't speak this way, right? Now, if you go to Medina, you go to Saudi, right? If you go to al-Qura, you go to any Jami'ah of Thaqafat al-Islamiyya, right? If you go to any university where you learn Islamic studies, where you're around the students of knowledge, right? The ulama, the people of knowledge, right? This is how they will speak, right? When you hear a brother giving a durus, right? All of the moshaykh, all of the people of knowledge today, when they speak, this is how they speak. They speak in the most proper form, right? Your common Arab around the masjid, they won't speak like this, right? So you might see some words left out, like the brother said. They might just say hada al-mi'taf, right, or hadihi nadara, right. They might leave off the hiya, they might leave off the huwa, right. They might leave something out, right. But we want to sound like people of knowledge, right. We want to not for any kind of recognition or any kind of, the reason why I spend my time with you guys doing this, guys, is not so that I can get any kind of praise, mashallah, mashallah. Look, the brother speaks Arabic. I could care less. Wallahi, I could care less, right? And I have people discourage me sometimes. Like, you don't need to learn this. We don't speak that. Okay, I'm not learning Arabic so I can speak to you. I'm learning the Arabic so I can understand the Qur'an, so I can understand Kalam Allah, right? But what comes with learning that, guys, wallahi, I feel this deep, like, this sense of urgency that, like, now that I'm learning this, like, and the brother mentioned this when he came down and he was talking about the importance of the Arabic, right? He said, what keeps people from getting benefit is the shyness, right? So if I was too shy to share this and to spread it and benefit other people that might be able to benefit, right? I honestly feel like I might be held accountable for that. You had knowledge, or you had an ability to teach people what you knew, and you didn't. I could be held accountable for that one day by Allah. Allah might ask me, you knew this, you had the ability to, you were able to teach it, you chose not to, you didn't. You did something else with your time. Right? So this is why I spend the time with you guys. This is why we went through learning how to read, guys. I as a revert myself, I know what it's like to be on the other side of not being able to read, not being able to understand. So it's a huge deal. But not only that, this is what boosts the iman. This is what increases you, right? When you start reading Qur'an, that's a huge first step right there. But then to start understanding it, it does something to the heart that it can't be explained. Okay? So we want to speak the most proper way. We want to speak in a way, we want to understand everything. We want to understand, right? And the most proper of speech is the speech of Allah, right? And so this is getting us closer to understanding that. Okay? So هذه هي نظارة يا والدي. Here are your glasses, O Father. Hayya bina means let's go ila al-masjid. Let's go to ila, right? So another word, guys, that probably repeats thousands of times in the Quran, ila al-masjid, right? Hayya bina ila al-masjid. Let's go to the masjid, right? So the adhan for Fajr just came in. The father's asking, where are the children? One of them's in the bathroom making wudu, the other one's reading, probably waiting for them to get ready, right? The father gets his coat, he gets his glasses. Hayya bina, yalla, let's go, right? Hayya bina, and Sa'ad and Sa'id say, yalla, let's go. So the men all say, let's go, right? The father and the two boys, okay, yalla, let's go, right? And where was the daughter? Hiya fi musallat tusalli, right? She was praying at home, right? Yes.
Sorry, what does ila mean again?
Ila means to, right? So let's go to the masjid. Ila, right? Ila, right? Okay, guys, so here now, this is going to put it all together for you guys. Al-mufradat, again, al-mufradat means the vocabulary. Al-ard, the presentation. Al-mufradat al-ard, right? The vocabulary of the presentation. And I think we have audio for this, guys. So when you guys hear it, we're all going to say it together. We're going to repeat after what we hear, inshallah.
الدرس 12. المفردات. العرض. انظر واستمع وأعد. مسجد. مصلى. القرآن. هيا بنا. نظارة. معطف. غرفة. حمام. يتوضأ. يقرأ. يصلي. أب. أذان. الفجر. أولاد. ابن
Ibn. Okay? So if you guys go to this page, and they do this after, if you notice, they do this after every conversation. So every chapter has 3 conversations. This is the 3rd conversation. After each conversation, they have a page like this that shows you all of the new vocabulary, guys, and they made it easy. Look, there's a picture to help you associate the word to the meaning, right? A masjid, a musalla, right? So here's the masjid, there's the musalla, the place where you pray, right? And so if we look at the connection between this word, guys, right? Yusalli, right? Salah, the salah, right? So what do we say about words that have, not all words, but many words that have this meme with a dhamma in the beginning?
So place up.
Here it means the place of, right? The place of Salli, right? Where you Salli, right? The Musalla, right? So you see the connection here between the word for prayer, right? The Salah, and the place where we pray, the Musalla, okay? Right? Hayabina is kind of using, okay, yalla, let's go, right? Nadara, the glasses, the mi'taf, right? A ghurfa, right? We have a sitting room. We'll get into the more detailed what kind of a room later, right? But for now, it's enough to know this is a room, a ghurfa, right? Hammam, right? Who knows what, this is a place where you relieve yourself. You do many things in the bathroom, right? You make ghusl, right? You wash yourself. Who knows the word for a pigeon?
Surah.
Hammam. Because pigeons are always, there's a connection between, the word for a pigeon and a place where we relieve ourselves, right?
What was picture again?
What's that?
Picture?
Surah,
I thought you
right?
said
Surah.
picture.
So again, it's a slight distinction, a slight of the tongue, right? Surah is a picture. A surah is what? Chapter of the Quran, right? So surah with a sin is a chapter of the Quran. Surah with a sad is a picture. Right? I made the mistake for a long time thinking that it was the same word, right? Until I really got into learning to read and the makhraj of pronouncing letters and words correctly. But it's a very subtle, because it's almost the same word, right? One word has the sin, one word has the sad. So the sin surah is a chapter of the Quran. Surah with the sad is a picture. It's a picture, right?
So
What's that?
it's like so.
Surah, right? We saw that right here, right?
Yeah.
Surah, right? So when we say this ta'al marbuta, right, we could say suratun, right? But many cases, if you stop at this word, you pronounce this as if this was the ha, like without the dots, the surah, right? Okay, and so we had al-ghurfa, al-hammam, yatawadda'u. So if you guys, so one thing to notice here, guys, when they give you the verb, they're giving you the masculine form of the verb. Okay, and remember, this is what they call mudari. This is like the present tense, like it's happening now. Yatawadda'u, he's making wudu, right? Yaqra'u, he is reading. Yusalli, he is praying, right? Al right? The mother, ab, right? The father, the adhan, right? Allahu Akbar, right? And al-fajr, right? We can see the white thread of the light coming up right here on the picture, right? Al-fajr, right? So we know this is the time of fajr, in the morning, right? And so we see a classroom of children, awlad, right? And ibn, okay? So some of these words are not new to us, right? We already know am, wal ab, right? These came in the first, I think in the first conversation, right? Was it the first conversation? Right? They're not new words to us, but they're repeating them here, right? So it seems like there's a lot, but some of these you guys already know, right? We already know what a Qur'an is, right? It's not a difficulty, right? We know what a masjid is, right? We know what the musalla is, right? So if anything that's new, maybe maybe the nadara, maybe the mi'taf, right? The jam'a for children, al-alad, right? We know what adhan is, we know what fajr is, right? So in reality, there's not that many new words here, right? Okay, and so again, this is just another easy exercise to help you associate the word with the picture, with the meaning, right? So tadrib, the exercise, sil, connect, bayna, between, al-kalimati, between the word, was surah, again that word, right? Surah, the picture, Suratil Munasiba. So Munasiba means the appropriate one, or the correct one, or the one that matches, right? So let's connect between the word and the appropriate picture, right? So the first one, Al-Qur'an, goes to which picture? To the Qur'an, right? So we can, if in your books, guys, go ahead and draw a line if you want. It's your book. Take notes. Write whatever you want. Yatawadda'u. So right above, right? Going straight up. I made that one easy. Yaqra'u. The brother reading. He's reading, right? The masjid. This guy with the minaret, right? The picture with the minaret. Masjid. Nadara. The glasses. Good job, guys, right? Mi'taf. The mi'taf is the coat. And the ghurfa. Al-ghurfa, the room. Good job, guys. See, they do a very, very good job of helping to reinforce the vocabulary, right? To helping you go through them, to repeat them, to look at pictures that help you identify and associate to the meaning, right? So, like I said, it's just a review. If you guys just review this, if you guys listen to the recording again, guys, it's not difficult. It will stick. Okay, and you guys will start speaking very quickly, inshallah. Okay, I promise you, bi-idhnillah, by the will and grace of Allah, you will do it. If you solidify your intention and you put in the work, Allah will make it easy for you, inshallah. Okay, here, guys, we have another exercise. Istami' is listen. ثم دع علامة الصحيح في مربع المناسبة. المربع is a square, al-murabba, right? So we're going to put da'a, put alamati sahih, the sign, the check mark, as-sahih, right? Means correct, right? Fi murabba il-munasiba, and so we already know munasiba, the appropriate, so in the appropriate square. So I'm going to play this audio, inshallah, and if I were you, I would follow along in the book, because the PDF is not always accurate to the audio. And so it's going to give you a word, right, for each number, واحد اثنين ثلاثة, and you put a check mark in the word that it gives you, okay?
استمع ثم ضع علامة صحيح في المربع المناسب.
أولا والدة.
والدة, left to right.
ثانيا مسجد.
Masjid, left to right. Right, masjid.
ثالثا
ابن.
Left to right. Left, the boy, right?
رابعا نظارة.
Navara, left, good, glasses.
خامسا يصلي.
Right, yusalli, good.
سادسا
جد.
The right, the jed. What's the grandmother? Jaddah. So a jed is the grandfather. Okay, good job, guys. See, all of this stuff is really, really to help you solidify the vocabulary, guys. Okay, let's play this one.
التدريب الثاني أشر إلى الصورة التي تسمع اسمها. يصلي.
Yusalli, which picture?
غرفة.
Okay. The guy praying right here, yusalli. So that's the first one. So you can put a 1 right there. The next one was ghurfa. Where's the ghurfa? Room. Right? The room, right up here. Right?
Top right.
معلمة
معلمة.
شجرة
Right here, the teacher, the female teacher. Shajara. Where's the shajara? The tree. Good. Is that it? Stopped? Okay. Let me see. Okay, I see what they did. I think they only gave you 1 per row. Okay, so we can call all these out, right? So what is this? Yatawadda'u, right? He makes wudu. What's this? Surah, right? This picture was from the first conversation. What's this? The usra, the family, right? Al-usra, right? Let's see. You know what this is? What's this, guys? Masjid. What's this? Salah. What's he doing? Yaqra'u, right? He's reading. Okay. We have the ibn, right? Wa ibna, good. I think this would be Jadda. This is the I think that was the walid. In one of the pictures, it was the ab or the walid, right? Okay, guys. Okay, so another thing that I like about this is this. It's going to take you through the numbers. So in the first chapter, we did. عودنا من واحد إلى خمسة. So we counted from 1 to 5. Here, what's the math, right? We're gonna count من 6 إلى 10, right? From 6 to 10, right? So here, the first one. Let me see if there's an audio for that. You guys can hear it.
الدرس 13. مفردات إضافية. العرض. انظر واستمع وأعد. 6.
Everybody, 6.
7.
7.
8.
8.
9.
10.
10. Good job, guys, right? Yes, sir.
So, you know, the Ashura and Ashura, is it like a difference?
What is it?
You know Ashura? Yom Ashura?
No. So this is the 10th day of the month, Yom Ashura, right? So okay. So and so you guys will as we go through this, you'll start to recognize words that caught your attention before, or something that stuck out, or something that you're aware of, and you're like, okay, that's what it means, right? Little by little, little light bulbs are going to go off. Stuff's going to start popping, and you're going to, you're going to start making connections to stuff that you've been hearing for a long time, right? And this is why numbers are important too, right? Because you're going to hear numbers a lot. There's numbers, all throughout the Qur'an. There's numbers in the Hadith. There's numbers in certain days that we fast. There's lots of association to numbers, right? So it's good to get to know them, right? So it seems silly, right? But listen to some of the kids, the nasheed, right, for the alphabet. Alifun, ba'un, ta'un, ta, jimun, right? It helps you to learn the alphabet, right? The same way you learn the English alphabet, right? And they also have nasheed for the numbers, right? واحد اثنين ثلاثة أربعة خمسة ستة سبعة ثمانية تسعة عشرة, right? My kids love those songs. But it helps you to learn, the numbers, right? So again, look at what the numbers look like also, because when you guys start looking for pages in the Quran, when you guys start looking for ayahs, you want to know what the numbers look like. So here, sitta actually looks like the number 7. Okay? Saba'a looks like a V. The mania looks like the opposite, right? Tis'a looks like the 9. And 10 looks like almost like 10, right? Except sifr is a dot, not a circle. What number is the circle?
0.
Nope. This is sifr. There's a number that... Khamsa. Khamsa, right? Khamsa is the circle. Right? Here, I'll go this way. Khamsa, where's Khamsa? Right there. See this? See Khamsata Ashr, right? So this is 15. 1 and 5. That's 0. It's not a 0, that's a 5, right? So also learn what the numbers look like. It'll be very, very helpful for you guys, inshallah, okay? So here we are here. And so this is just a very quick, easy exercise, a tadrib, an exercise. Sil bayna adad, right? The number was surat al-munasiba, so connect between the number and the appropriate picture. So this first number is tis'a. Tis'a, which one does it go to? You say? The last one. This is 9 right here. Tis'a, right here. Okay? Sitta. Sitta goes where?
First one.
Not the first one.
Second from the left.
Second to the last. This one right here. Sitta. Sitta.
That one's the first one.
Saba'a is the first one, correct? Wa ashra in the middle, right? And thamaniya, second to the first one, right? So this one right here, right? So this is just, in your book it's easier, right? But count the books, and this is the number that you're looking for, right?
The last one's 8.
This one was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 9. So this is 9. This is tis'a, right? This first one right here. And then the mani is right here, 8. Sitta, 6, Saba'a, and Ashra right here in the middle, right? So this next one again is just Ratib al-Adad, right? So they put the numbers out of order. They just want you to arrange them back into order. So Sitta is 6. What's the next number? Saba'a. Thamaniya. Tis'a. Wa ashara. Wa ashara, right? So Sitta, Saba'a, this B, Thamaniya, that one, Tis'a, the 9, and Ashra, 10. Okay? And so this is just an exercise. Ashir ila al-adad alladhi tasma'u. So point to the number that you hear. So if I call out 8, where's 8?
Second to last.
Far left, far left. This is 8, right? Thamaniya, right? Where's Saba'a?
The middle one.
In the middle, Saba'a, good. Al-Ashra.
The second from the left.
Yeah.
Ashra. Sitta.
Second to the right.
Second to right?
Oh,
Sure?
no, sorry, yeah.
First one, Sitta, Sitta, good. And Tis'a?
That one's second to the right.
This one, second to the right, right? Okay, and this is the same thing. Okay, so this one is repeating, right? Kul al-adad mushara alayh, right? So Sitta. Repeat, Sitta. Saba'a. Thamaniya. Tis'a. Ashra. Good. Inshallah. Okay. Okay, so here, guys, here we have another exercise. Again, remember, this will get easier for you guys because this type of exercise repeats over and over and over. It repeats, right? So it will become easy, inshallah. We will go through it. If you have any questions, you guys have my number. Message me, call me, whatever it is. I will always get back to you, inshallah. Okay. So, التراكيب نحوية, right? So this is it's an exercise. This is actually a grammatical exercise, right? Because this is getting you to the nahwiya is also what they call of like you know associating and pronouncing the correct harakat, right? And in later ones there will be things that cause kasra to happen and cause fatha to happen, right? So in the example is always correct, okay? So when they give you a word, you have to make the word match the example, if that makes sense, guys. Inshallah, it will make sense as we get through this. So, تبادل سؤال وجواب مع زميلك كما في مثال. Exchange the question and the answer with your زميلك كما في مثال, like you see in the example. In our مثال الأول, the first example, أين المعطف, right? هذا هو المعطف. هذا هو المعطف, right? المثال الثاني, right? The second example, أين الغرفة. هذه هي الغرفة, right? So what they're talking about, the nahwiya, right? They're talking about you appropriating the correct huwa and hiya to the object, right? So in the example of in this first example, they gave you the mi'taf. So what is appropriate
The jacket.
for the jacket that is masculine and singular? Hada huwa, right here. This first part, hada huwa, right? So hada and huwa are both masculine and they're both singular, right? So mi'taf is masculine singular. Hada huwa al-mi'taf, right? Here is the jacket, okay? And so if you look at the second word, they gave you a feminine word because it has ta' al-marbuta, right? Ayn al-ghurfa. Hadihi, the correct way would be, we wouldn't say hada huwa al-ghurfa, right? Because the word is feminine, we have to say hadihi hiya. Hadihi hiya. Here is the ghurfa. This is the room, right? This is the ghurfa. Yes.
So why is it feminine? Does it depend on who you're talking to, or just certain things?
No. So this is actually very common in many languages, right? And this is what makes when you start to understand the Arabic language, this is what helps you to understand that when things are being talked about, it's specific. It's more specific, right? Because in English there isn't masculine and feminine words. We have masculine and feminine names, right? But we don't have words that are masculine and feminine. We have this in Spanish, right? There's words that are masculine and feminine, right? So in Arabic, right, it's the same thing. So words have a natural gender, but depending on the context of the sentence, some words can interchange to be masculine or feminine, right? So like the describing words, some of them are naturally masculine or naturally feminine, right? But when we use it, when we pair it with something, right? If we paired a masculine describing word to a feminine object, you would make it match with the object, right? So Jamil. Jamil, what does Jamil mean? Jamil means beautiful, right? And that's a masculine, this is a masculine in its origin, and a masculine descriptive word, okay? Sayyara is a feminine word, right? But so because Sayyara is a feminine word, we would say Sayyara Jamila. We would say Jamil. We have to make it match the gender of the object now, of the noun, right? Does that make sense? So this is what's happening here, right? So we're making here we're pointing at something, right? So the words that we use to point at the object have to match the gender of the word. So هذا هو is pointing at something masculine. right? So hada and huwa have to be masculine to point at something masculine, to be used to point at something masculine. Okay, here we're pointing at something feminine. So we need to use the feminine words to point at the feminine object. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but how is the room like feminine? See what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is, I mean, the grammar and what words are masculine and feminine. This has been decided a long time ago, right? We just need to know what they are and be able to identify them. So the way that we identify, right, what they are here, because this has at the end of the word this little thing with the two dots, we know this is a feminine word, right? The ghurfa. The shajara, we know this one, the little circle with the two dots, is a feminine word. This is a feminine word. The ibna, obviously, she's feminine. This is going to be a feminine word, right? So those are the signs to let us know that these are feminine words. So when we see those words, we have to use the feminine words or nouns to point at the feminine object. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it's how it's written.
What's that?
It's how it's written.
This is how it's written.
Okay.
This is how it's written. It's how you would speak it, right? Because if you said, again, if you mixed these up, if you said هذه هي المقطف, then someone's gonna look at you funny. They'd be like, they're gonna know, like, okay, he's still learning. He doesn't know yet, right? And then vice versa. If you switched the other way and said هذا هو غرفة, right? They'd be kind of like, right? It would be like. It would be like saying something feminine about a guy, right? You're mixing up the gender. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the words have to match, right? What's being said has to match, and you will find this consistency throughout the Quran, right? And this is just the way that the language is, the way that it's set up, and again, it's what makes it specific, right? Okay, guys, so the first example, so they gave us al-mi'taf and al-ghurfa. So the next word is going to be, what's this? Ibn. So our question is going to be, Aina ibn? Aina ibnu? Aina ibnu? Right? Where's the boy? So what would we say? هذا هو ibn. Okay? So here, the next one, Aina. What's the next word? The musalla. Aina musalla, right? So we would say, هذا هو مصلى. هذا هو مصلى, right? So we're literally just following, we're just plugging in this word with the word up here. That's literally all we're doing, right? So the next word is مسجد. أين المسجد؟ هذا هو المسجد, right? أين الحمام؟ هذا هو الحمام, right? And so the other thing that they did, guys, is that they added, they right now the word here is nakira, right? It's indefinite. What they did in the example is they added alif lam. They made it definite, right? So they're talking about something specific. Where's the jacket, right? Where's the boy? Where's the musalla? Where's the masjid, right? So we're adding this into our work, okay? So the next one here, we're looking at this now. So Aina al-surah. Aina al-surah. What would you say? هذه هي الصورة. هذه هي الصورة. Right? Okay, so now we say أين الشجرة؟ هذه هي الشجرة. هذه هي الشجرة. Good. Right? أين النظارة؟ هذه هي نظارة. Right? نظارة. Zillah, put the tongue. نظارة. Okay. And last one. أين الابنة؟ أين الابنة؟ هذه هي ابنة. Here is the girl. هذه هي ابنة. Right. So this is just teaching us to associate the correct, because these are called nouns, right? This is ismul ishara, right? These are nouns, right? They're pronouns. Right? So we want to make sure that we associate the correct ones to the appropriate words, right? We don't want to mix anything up and sound, you know. Okay, I think this will probably be the last exercise right here, okay? So here we have الوحدة الثانية الأسرة الدرس أربعة عشرون 14 تبادل السؤال والجواب مع زميلك كما في مثال. Again, we're going to do the same thing. تبادلي, exchange السؤال, the question, والجواب, and the answer مع زميلك كما في مثال. I was supposed to have you guys practice that with each other, so we'll do it on this one, guys, okay? So مثال, the first one, أين سعيد في الغرفة يقرأ القرآن. Okay, the second one, أين سعيدة في الغرفة تقرأ القرآن. So for the man, the male, we say يقرأ. Okay, for the feminine, we say تقرأ, she. Okay, so this is the first line right here. This is the first example they give you. This first line, this first row. So in the next example, what's it going to be right here? Aina. What's the name? Salih. Aina Salih. And then what's the answer going to be? Salih fil masjidi yusalli, right? Salih fil masjidi yusalli, right? So in this example, it's going to be Aina Saliha. So her name is Saliha. Aina Saliha. Saliha fi musalla tusalli. Okay, does that make sense, guys? The exchanging of the words, does it make sense? It's easy, inshallah.
This is like when they say like it's like precise and like I don't know how to explain it, but like instead of like saying like the whole thing, is it more common to say Yusali like for the bottom right one, like Yusali for the masjid, like just without saying the name?
You could say this, but we want to. The book has its method for why it's teaching you like this, right? Why it wants you to repeat the name. Okay, so we're going to follow the book, inshallah. We don't want to cut any corners or do anything short or do anything, miss out on any benefit, inshallah. Okay, so in the example, they're inserting the name. Okay, even though we know who's been established, right? The person they asked about is the one being spoken about. We know this, right? But we're gonna put emphasis, right, and insert the name just like they have it here. Okay, for right now, it's gonna help us to associate the masculine name with the masculine verb and the feminine name with the feminine verb, inshallah. Okay. So go ahead, guys, and exchange this example with your zamilik, with your classmates. Practice with whoever you're sitting next to, inshallah. If you guys have any questions, if you have any difficulty with what needs to be switched out for your example, let me know, inshallah.
So basically, so it's like conversation. Can you separate and now it says that means to and you. So I asked a question. So like examples. So basically, we know that we know that's in the alphabet, yeah. I know what's for that. It's are you finding that teaches you alphabets. They have some like.
I think it might be good just to like cover the first different alphabets. So that maybe we'll also
it goes a long way. Just like yeah. Yeah, so like here for example, it shows so it's asking questions in Sa'id. Sa'id so Sa'id so fi you know what they mean? It's just oh okay. So Sa'id في الغرفة Yes. Yes. And then the difference between these, so the male, so you always hear like for the male, they'll say يقرأ, you'll always start with yeah, and then for female, so like for example, another action word in Arabic is yusalli. That basically for her it would be tusalli. Yes. Likewise, yatawadda. For female, exactly. So like you'll have like تصلي يقرأ تقرأ. It's like the good thing about it is that it's consistent. Yeah, it's always consistent. So you can say things like earlier you were asking about how they know objects are female or male. That has a lot to do with how they're just spelled. So like I was saying, here, this one says Samba. Now that something that has a G sound at the end. Samba sounds like a word, but it's actually because it ends in yeah instead of the yeah. So it is a little confusing. I guess it's something that you would develop through image. So like after becoming used to living there, living in it, that's when you'll be able to know the difference between each. So like so for example, had he, for example, always say had for yes. Yeah, so you can say like had she is, or this is feminine, and then has the masculine for a word for a person. So it's interesting if you describe a man in the moment of what you would describe an object. So like man is a masculine version of an object. So this is masculine. Feminine would be he is, she is, So هذا and هذه means this is. Yeah, it sounds it's confusing at first. So look for words like the end of the dal. This meaning would be so
Also, when he was talking about the cycle, when he's teaching the kids the other day,
and it's tricky because like I didn't know which words and it's more it'll come with violation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
so obviously the pink is like extended.
So these exercises. So this is not also this is what they hear.
Just in general,
Say it not just the repetition, just repeating the stuff, saying the stuff that makes it stay in the shadow. That's always shadow. If you just listen to the All right, guys. Are you guys done?
yes.
I have one thing to point out to you guys. Okay, so I mentioned to you guys in the last part about the nahwiya, right? So here we need to see. Now remember, what's happening in the mithal, in the example, will always be the most grammatically correct, right? Because they might give you something here that may be a little bit different. So right here they gave you al-ghurfa wa yaqra'u al-Qur'an, right? So there's nothing, they didn't put anything at ghurfa, right? But if you look in the example, fil ghurfati, okay? Ghurfa becomes ghurfati. Why? Limadha? Not you, Amar? Does anybody have a guess? Why this ghurfa became a ghurfati? What is it?
Female inside the room.
No. Okay. So guys, remember what I mentioned to you, right? The whole science of grammar, right? The whole science of nahwu is why haraka changes. Okay? What makes the haraka change from fataha to kasra to dhamma, right? When fi, these are called harf. When fi, ila, وعن وفي ورب والباء والكاف واللام وواو وتاء, when any of these harf come before a word, it makes what comes after it kasra. Right? Ismun. But when we put that ba with kasra in the front, it becomes bismi. That's one of those letters that causes what they call jar. Okay, jar, yajuru means to drag, right? So the vowel gets pulled down and it becomes kasra, right? So this fi caused this word to go from al-ghurfatu to fil ghurfati. Okay, this fi right here caused this kasra. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, so it's not a thing that I'm trying to beat you up about the grammar. I just want you guys to understand something came here and caused this to happen. So follow the example because it's giving you the most accurate and correct way of saying what they're putting in the book. So that's going to be it, guys. They're about to call the adhan. Subhanallahumma wa bihamdik. La ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Jazakallah khair for everybody who came. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. If you guys have any questions, you guys have anything, let me know, inshallah.
I have one of these books.
Inshallah, we can get you one, inshallah.